if a straight man is attracted to me, then finds out my trans identity and is no longer attracted to me, that is called transphobia. Let me explain why.
Hold on. Here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but no. And correct me if I'm wrong. Take a look at this gentleman right here I'm going to show you. And I came across his, well, actually, he was on my FYP. And I was like, oh, okay.
I know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away.
Now that man looks like an angel sent straight from God himself. Himself! But after further research on his page, everything said trans. So I found out that he was a female. He transitioned at like 19 or something like that. Now he's like 30 maybe. When I tell you I was no longer attracted to him, I mean it. I was no longer attracted to him after finding out that he used to be a female and he's trans. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just not my preference. Now, is he still beautiful? Yeah, he is. He's beautiful. But would I date him? I would not. I would not date him because that's not what I'm into. I am into men who were born men and are still men. And it's not a problem. It doesn't make me transphobic because I'm no longer attracted to him. It just means that I'm heterosexual maybe and attracted to the opposite sex. Does this make sense or does it not make sense? I really want to know. I want to know from trans people if this makes sense. And I don't even have a lot of trans people following me on here, so I hope that this video makes it to the trans world. But I'm definitely not transphobic because I don't fear the man. Because he's beautiful. I'm just not attracted to him anymore.
Hello and welcome to Trash It. I am sure, based on the video that you just watched, that you kind of have a feel on what we're going to be discussing before I introduce the topic. But let me bring it to the beautiful panelists that we have on with me today. My usual gorgeous Celia in our Bone Streets, Ade, Funshaw, Kim Yon in his all glory of African attire, which Ade is also morphing. But you know, the interesting piece out of our guys today is Danjuma, crested out in Maya Tafo's pieces. Bestock. He's one of our foremost international fashion designers, well-known, New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week. So he's morphed in with us. And you know, Danjuma can speak. MC Extraordinary. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, what we're going to be discussing today is a little bit serious. Not that we don't discuss serious topics. You know, I can never take anything seriously, but today it's kind of serious based on what you just watched. Let me get to it before I introduce the topic and ask you questions. What is your understanding of someone being transphobic? Let me start with Danjuma. We're in the era of sexual, non-binary, cisgender, trans women, trans men, bisexual, LGBTQ, and all the others that we can mention. But what is your understanding of transphobia?
They have a fear for people that are trans. That's what it is, really.
Straight on to it.
Because I would say it's not a common practice from where we're from. So it's new to some people, and it's new to the world as well. So people are coming to terms with it, and some people have a fear about it. They are not comfortable with it. Some people can't discuss about it. So it depends on the individual. So it's a kind of a fear for it.
Fair. Okay. Funshaw, asking you the same question I've just asked Danjuma. What's your understanding? And we're more interested in what you men actually think. And then I'll go to Celia.
I think Danjuma just explained it in clear terms. By combination of the two words, trans and phobia. Phobia is fear of trans. So I think that's just the general meaning. And like you said, also from where we come from, these things are new to us. And sometimes things you don't understand, some fear it while some try to understand it. So yeah, for me, being transphobic is maybe having a fear of of the unknown in regards to transgenders. That's all.
Fear of the unknown. Kion and Ade, do you share the same sentiment that Danjuma and Funsho have, or fear of the unknown, or fear of something we're not used to based on where we've all come from? Because we're all Nigerians.
I mean, if you break down the word, it's still the same thing, your fear of trans people. So you just, it's not that, for me, it could be something that you don't agree with. You see, it's not just that you're scared of them, but you don't agree with their way. Okay. Do you know what I mean? People might look at you and say, but in the terms of the actual word literally itself, is a fear of the trans. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not fearful of them, but I don't agree with it.
Okay, hold that thought. Kim Yo, same question I've asked everyone.
Yeah.
What's your understanding of being transphobic?
I think they said almost the same thing. Yeah, when you are afraid of something, I think you kind of, or you dislike it. That's my own understanding. You don't like it, so it's something that when it comes up, you don't want to talk about it, or you don't want anything to do with that person.
Okay, Celia, being a woman on the panel, in most cases we have had contact with trans women. Sahara, she's a fan of the show. I think you and I have an in-depth understanding, but I just want you to break it down to people. What is your own understanding of people being transphobic?
So I think it's basically what everyone has said, but again, it's just about knowing what a trans person, what the journey they're going through, understanding the journey they're going through, and in as much as you have those fears, being respectful about it, being respectful about their journey, okay? Recognizing it and respect, I think, is the most important thing when we're talking about trans people, or even people that, gay people or lesbians or the LGBT community. I think is understanding and respect. That's what we have. Those are the two things for me: understanding, respect, and acceptance. Okay, so those are the two things for me. But as everybody else has explained, transphobia, the fear of trans people, and I think sometimes that fear is because of lack of knowledge. Okay, so I'm hoping as we discuss further today, we would unravel.
Let me be in the environment, because we are a show that allows people, or we bring a platform where people can get educated. The environment that we grew up in does not encourage the LGBTQ community. Does it make it, and this is not me trying to put you guys on the spot, given what we've just said and from where we're coming from, do you consider yourself to be transphobic?
From what I do as a profession, you can be, because it's part of what we call equality. So, and they're protected characters, and it can land hot soup if you go against that. But that does not mean that you don't have your own beliefs, which is your religion. So it depends on what part you're looking at it from. If it's your religious belief that makes you not agree with it. But one thing I should separate from religions, that let them be what they are, and let God be the judge. Don't be the judge. Whatever it is yours, do your own bit, because they might look at you like they're allowing you to do what you want to do. Maybe a man being with a woman. So allow them be whatever they want to do. If they want to do a transfer from one body to another, from one gender to another, let them be what they want to be. And I don't think we can judge. We should allow everybody. But we have evolved, I would say, because when I was younger, it would have been like, what is this? Whereas the reality is all of ours. But the only thing I do not agree with is that they should not educate the children on this.
Okay, we will come to that. Yeah. Now, Funsho and Kimio, like Danjuma said, we live our life the way we want to live our life. And fear of the unknowns is something real, whether we like it or not. I'm going to ask both of you, based on being men, do you consider yourself transphobic?
Okay. Before I say anything, I forgot to say this from the beginning, because I work for one small company like that. So I just want to make this, how should I say, clarification that whatever I say here on this show It's just my own opinion. It doesn't represent anybody I work with or people I come in association with.
Yeah.
It's just my own personal opinion.
Disclaimer.
So just a disclaimer there.
We have a disclaimer at the beginning of the show. Anyway.
Okay, so I am not kind of scared of them. I'm not transphobic. In fact, I'm curious. I don't know much about them. I'm not that lucky enough to have met any. I'll be glad to meet someone or any one of them and ask questions. And I think that is what is happening to most of us. Most people don't know them. They don't know their stories. They don't know what it entails. And that is what is now creating that fear within them. So like I said, I don't have any problem with them. In fact, I'm open and I'm looking forward to meet any one of them to ask questions. There are times we open rooms on Clubhouse and these people come in and we talk. But I've not been fortunate enough to be there, or whenever I'm there, there's decorum in the room. But once I'm not there, they attack themselves and I don't know why. And they always keep telling me that when I leave that place, that everything goes to the dustbin. I don't know why.
You're the sense in there.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm still looking out to it. I don't have any fear for them at all. That's just it.
Okay. Kenyon?
Yeah. I would say the same thing. I'm not really afraid of them, in the sense that I don't know anything about them. One, I don't know anything about them. And I want to say this clearly, that I am actually glad that I left Nigeria. That's the truth. I'm glad I left Nigeria, because now there are so many things that before they were like, I was in the box. Understand? About issues. You understand? Even common things, even about religion and so other things. I felt like I was in the box, and so many people are still in that box back home. They don't know anything. Funshaw will know this guy, Pavel. Yeah, he came out. He came out as gay. He was my flatmate. So he came up to me and said, "Look, Pyom, if you have any question about me, come to me and ask me." But he never knew that somebody told me already.
Did he come out in Nigeria?
No. Here, I mean here in Czech.
Okay.
Here in Czech. So, like, if it was maybe the Kyom of probably maybe 10 or 15 years back, I would have like, no. Then pack, go your way. I can stay with you in the same house. You understand? So, and things like that. So I am not really afraid of them. But what, like Funshaw said, I'm really curious. I've never met a trans before, but I'm really curious. I saw one in the metro. He was looking uncomfortable, like he was not comfortable at all. And people were looking at him. The guy, he put his head down. You know why I noticed? Because I just looked at him somehow. Then I noticed that, okay, from his nails, the way the hands were, and then the legs, I started looking, I said, okay, this is the other, So I really don't have an encounter with one of them to really know. But for me, you can live your life. Somebody said, like, don't educate the children. One thing we told Pavel, we said, look, what you do is your life. But me, don't expect me to support you tomorrow when you want to adopt a child. That one, I will not support you.
All right. Pump your brakes. We'll come to that because that's one interesting thing I need to find out. Now, let me introduce what we're going to be talking about. Based on the video we just shown, if a straight woman or a straight man was attracted to a woman and then find out that the woman is a trans woman and is no longer attracted to her anymore. Now, all of you have said you're not transphobic. Is the man transphobic? Let me go to Ade.
If a man is married to a woman and
if a straight man, like you meet a straight man, you meet a woman, you've asked her out, you guys are enjoying each other's company, and you find out that this woman is a trans woman, and then the man says, look, I'm no longer interested, I'm no longer attracted to you. Is he being transphobic?
No. I'm not. He's not being transphobic. No. because he wasn't aware of what he was dealing with before. So, and now he's aware of it. And it's just to say, thank you very much. I'm okay. It's not my thing. I got to move on.
Don't you think it is discriminatory, or should I say, is it discriminatory to refuse to date a trans woman once that you're made aware that they're not cis women, as in they were?
Let me tell you, I'm a fan of Bobrisky, right? Right. I like all his all she drama. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy it, but I'm not going to find her attractive to date her. Do you understand?
You mean
so
him?
That's knowing that she's a man. Do you understand? Right? That's gross for me to even think. I'm even thinking of the thought that I was thinking. She's nice. You know, I'm gonna get down. And then discover. No. I would be. I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry, Danjuma. Bobrisky identifies as a woman, actually. Yeah. So it will be right pronouns to use she for Bobrisky. But I'm asking you now, is it discriminatory to refuse to date a trans woman once that you're made aware that they're not cis women? Cis women being the wearing born women.
It's not discriminatory. It just means that you're not gay because you say a straight man.
Okay. So Danjuma, let me ask you this. So when you meet a woman in a bar, right? You're not married, you're single. You meet a woman in a bar and she looks nice, hair on fleek, nails, everything. She looks absolutely beautiful. You approach her and you guys start chatting. You love the vibe and everything is going well. You're feeling her and you're going to ask for her number because you want to see her again. Because this could go somewhere. Okay. And then all of a sudden you find out that she's trans. Are you saying that because you're not gay, you're going to remove yourself from that relationship or from that friendship?
With immediate effect.
Okay, so you do realize that you've been attracted to what you saw, which was a feminine person, doesn't make you gay when you then find out that they were not assigned female at birth. You do know that?
Because if after the attraction, there's going to be other things that are going to come on. So all those other issues.
Things like what?
In a sexual way. So.
Okay. But the equipment is the same.
Yeah.
It's not. It can't. It's never been the same.
The trans women what
God has done is perfect. Let's not deceive ourselves. So when you not know, I always believe from the onset it should be defined, so somebody is not being deceived. Because if you told me from the onset, as I met you, you are this and that, then there's no need for us to even discuss further.
So when you meet a woman from the onset, this is to any of the guys now, right? Because if you meet a woman from the onset, would you expect her to tell you, oh, by the way, you've asked me for my number, but just so you know, I can't carry children? Is that something you would expect from her?
No.
So I was expecting the questions to get to me first before I respond.
Please come in.
Yeah.
Now for the question from Yuri, I see it in two ways. The first way is being a trans, I think, is a big deal. Big deal in the sense that it's a big information. Just like Celia just mentioned, you should tell me that information from the beginning. I should know, or should leave me with the choice of whether I want to go on with it or not. Don't decide for me.
So for sure, that was what I was asking. That's my question to Danjuma. Would you also expect someone who is HIV positive or someone who cannot carry children or a man who is impotent to tell you on the very first meeting that they're all of these things? Would you expect that as well?
I expect you to tell me all these things.
On the very first meeting.
You see, we are talking. I saw you. I like you. And I'm approaching you. You see that I'm approaching you. Before things get serious or before we start removing our clothes, tell me these things. So let me know if I still want to go on with it or not. Yeah. Don't decide for me. Don't assume or anything.
And don't deceive me.
Exactly. So that's one. I'm not saying I don't want to. In fact, for the kind of person I am, being the street chairman, I'll be curious enough to see how it is. What kind of,
so now you want to just experiment with this woman, but not that you're really going to take it any further.
Who says it cannot go further?
Okay, I'm just asking.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't understand.
Let me finish.
Hold on.
Be coming back.
That is the curiosity in me. That's my own kind of person. And we said it from the beginning here that sometimes people are scared of what they don't understand, what they don't know. So me being the kind of person I am, I want to know. I found you at, see, when I first saw Miss Sahara, I was like, wow.
She's beautiful.
Man. I don't know how to say that in
beautiful.
English. But I was like, man,
she's very put together.
She's the sauce. I don't mind.
She's
Let's
the
just
sauce.
see what it looks like. What makes it, what if I actually start with her and I really enjoy it and I like it? Nothing can stop me from going it. You get? So
okay, but Funsho, what I want to know, I'm sorry, I keep hammering on this. You said this, right? Because you're very curious, you're inquisitive, you want to know. Are you now just wanting to know, and then once you know, you back out? Or you want to take it, you will take it further, just as you would have done any other woman
even
who was cisgender.
Sorry? That's not a trans. Even a straight woman that's not a trans, I still want to know. So let alone trans. It's the same thing. The same rule that applies to both. I don't differentiate in my own books.
You don't discriminate.
If I meet Yori today and I like her, I want to know what Yori is made up of.
Yeah, but for sure, you're still not answering the question because no, you're not. Because what I'm asking you, what I want to know from you, you meet a woman, yeah, a woman who was born a female, a person who was born a female. You're attracted to her, and that goes somewhere, and you're like, oh yeah, we're in a relationship. Years down the line, you guys end up married. But now you meet this woman, right? But she's not a cis person. She wasn't assigned female at birth. She had that journey and became female. Now you find out that she's trans. Will you, because now you're curious, you don't want to end things because you're curious. But now, once you fulfill that urge of curiosity, will you still take it further and maybe end up marrying this person?
And that's why I said, I don't know tomorrow. I cannot decide from now. What if I get there and it's not the trans that's my problem, but her attitude?
Okay.
And I continue.
Let me go to Kion because I think Kion wants to also come in, and then I would move forward because there's a question I've got for Danjuma.
Yeah. What I wanted to say is that I don't expect to know much about you on the first day. Exactly. I don't expect to know much about you because it all depends on what kind of conversation we are having on the first day. If it's in a club, you know what happens in a club. We just talk, we get drunk, and stuff like that. We talk just normal thing. And you don't expect me. There are so many times we go to the club and you meet a lady, like at the bar, you guys are drinking. You have a boyfriend or you have a girlfriend. You say, no. Why? Because you want to know, why is she asking? You understand? So maybe if the conversation goes further, and you realize that, oh, okay, maybe this person I'm beginning to like you. You started explaining yourself, you exchange numbers and stuff like that. So for me, if you come out to tell me that this is who you are, sincerely speaking, I want to have a family. I want to have children. That's my consideration and things like that. You understand me? I watched one documentary that says I want my body back. These are people who went through transformation and they realized that it was a very great mistake they did. So some of them actually went back. They went back to their old distance. Some couldn't. I remember vividly one of the lady, she was born a man. So she transformed into a woman. She said she thought like, okay, after that, she's going to enjoy sex. She said sex was not enjoyable. It's painful. She explained in details like what you go through. So forget about what they package, this person look. No, down there's something that they are not enjoying. So, and things like that. And me, I don't want a situation whereby, because we've seen even female getting married to a man and who experience pain during sex, yeah. They complain a lot, and some of them leads to like the breakup in the marriage or the relationship and things like that. So I don't want to reach that situation. That doesn't mean I hate you. I will try to maintain that relationship we develop. I will try, but this is not what I want, which I believe that I have the right to choose what I want, and you also have the right to choose what you want.
You're quite right, Kinyon, but I'm going to go to Ade and Funsho and Danjuma for this question. Based on what Kinyon said, I had a chat with someone who experienced what you just said, and her reason for coming out of that relationship, she was in a relationship with a trans man, is I wanted biological children and he would not be able to give that to me. So I left. We have seen straight, sterile men that had women stayed with them and they can't have children.
Mm-hmm.
From what Kim has said, why can't you then allow this trans woman, give her the support if you genuinely love her? Because you don't have to biologically, I know we all want biological children. They're kids that need homes as well. So Ade, why is it that it's so easy to stay with a straight man that is sterile, that will not be able to give you biological children, than to be with a trans woman who is in the same situation?
Well, do you want my own opinion?
Yeah, I want your opinion. That's why you're here.
I can't be with anything trans. If you're not born a woman, you're not for me.
May I ask why?
If I didn't know from beginning and I found out later, right? That is a gross. I don't know what I would do to that person for hiding that from me. Because I can't be with that person. I'll leave. I don't want to know. It's not about having kids. It's just about what I've been brought up to understand. You know, I have a man and a man, or man turned to a woman. No.
But the person is a woman, Ade. The person is now a woman. They have everything a woman has.
No, she's never a woman. I don't understand how I can't view that person as a woman. I don't know. I cannot.
Ade is still in Nigeria.
Why can't you?
I accept them for who they are. They have got right to live and be whoever they want to be.
Okay, Ade, let me bring this.
It's not normal. It's not normal for me to look at someone who's gone from a man, had a willy, sorry to say, and then no, I can't overlook that it's hard. No, I cannot.
I think Ade
would kill for that. I can't.
I think at this point, what is normal is different to everyone, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's normalcy is different. Yeah. And I think we live in a society where things are changing, things are happening, right? And I think at some point we need to be open to the idea and be open to this change. Do you understand? Because you don't want to, especially when you live in a society like the United Kingdom, for example, is very diverse in all areas, right? So I think we need to get to that point where we can open our minds up, you know, and maybe not be myopic, but be more open and be accepted.
That's subjective.
Okay.
That's subjective.
The thing with me is this, right? I believe that everybody have the right to live and enjoy their life the way they want, provided they're not going to have any adverse negative impact on other people's life. Okay? I work with gay, I have a gay lecturer, I have gay friends, you know, but I am not going to partake in the activity they do, you know, sexually. Do you understand? Yeah. They can live their life. You can be a trans, but I don't want to be part of that activity. But I will be your friend. You see?
Let me come to Danjuma, then I'll go to Funshaw, Celia, and Kim.
Can I tell you something? One thing,
go on.
Sorry. There was a time me and my cousin from Nigeria, we were all sitting together, right? One of my older cousins' house, and we're talking about what about if your child come and say, Mom, Dad, I'm gay, right? My cousin said, over our dead body. I said, no. I said, but if my son come to me, he's gay, I don't have a problem, that's his life. You know, he's got a right to live his life. But I'll just tell him that if that's what you want, you're still my son. You know? But it is not what I personally will practice in. My children can be wherever they want to be. You know, I don't have a problem. I can employ gay, I can do business with you, whatever. But in terms of sexual relationship, I cannot stand it. I won't do it.
Okay. Now, I have a question for Ade, then I'm going to ask a general question. Ade, say for instance, you go clubbing. When we go clubbing, everyone is having a nice time. You drank your Henny and Coke or your Desiree and Coke, and you made this banging ass woman start kissing her. And then she comes to you and say, and you find out she's trans. You've kissed her already. The connection is there. Like, emotionally, physically, your body is in tune with her. Why are you not comfortable with that?
No.
How did we die?
If I was aware and I'm sober to know that this person is not what they were born to be, do you understand? Or they're not what I really want, I can move away. You can check your lady out, take her home one night time, wake up the next morning, she look horrible. necessarily calling again. It doesn't mean because you have something you have to stick to it. No, it's happened. I wouldn't even tell anyone, say, you know what happened? I go just go moan and cry in my room and move on.
But what you crying about is what I don't get.
Because
she's a woman.
No,
Okay.
I've done things with a man.
All right. But let me, based on what, because obviously I want to see an argument for and against. Now, based on what Ade has said, we're not in the era of cancel culture. Why is it so difficult to grasp or accept the concept of preference? That is what Ade wants. What is the problem, Danjuma? Because obviously people, you get cancelled for, I don't actually, from what he said, he doesn't want to be with a trans woman. That is his choice. But we are in the era where people say, well, we all face one discrimination or the other. There are people that won't date me because I'm a black woman. It doesn't bother me. There's people that won't date me because I'm bald. It doesn't bother me. And there are people that will not date me because I wear glasses. I can't see legally. So it'd be nice for me to be able to see the person I'm about to kiss. So there's some limitation already in place. But Ade is who he is. At what point do we draw the line between that's his preference and respect his preference?
There's no line. Like I said, everybody has a choice. You cannot change somebody's choice because the world has changed. He has to follow up. For example, Ade does not smoke weed. All of a sudden, weed is legal in the UK. Doesn't mean that Ade must smoke it. Doesn't mean you must not partake in it. So if you don't want to partake in it, nobody should be judged, and nobody should discriminate against Ade because that's what he wants. It's a choice thing. A woman that's done a trans, if she's done the full transition, because some people don't do the full transition, I believe there should be a duty of care to let the other person know what they're going into. I wouldn't succumb to that because I think it's deceit in a funny way. If they tell the person and the person goes ahead to do it, that is fine. But if you don't go ahead to do it, that is fine as well.
But at what point do they need to tell that person though, Danjuma?
I believe before you go into a sexual activity, the person should know.
But any form of
sexual activity, any form,
which includes kissing. But okay, say for instance now I'm a 34D cup. If I go up to a 36DD, do I need to tell you before? That's one information you don't need to know.
That's body enhancement. It's different.
Yeah, so
it's different.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that a trans woman, hold on.
No. That's
hold
different.
on, Danjuma. It's a trans woman has gone through a journey. They've gone through a transition. And for their mind to match with their body, there's some things that has to be done.
Hormones, there's a lot of things involved.
So there are hormones, and in some cases, people go to full length and have surgery. Why does she need to give you that information? If as a cis woman, I don't need to tell you that I've had surgery done. We're going to be kissing at some point. So why do I need to tell you I've had my body done?
Okay, this is where it's different now. People were attracted to men. She was attracted to men, and that's why she has changed her body to be a woman. I'm not attracted to men.
Do you still see her as a man?
I do see her psychologically as a man.
Danjuma, what do you mean by attracted to men?
Some people see the opposite sex as they're attracted to men. So even the person is a trans, it doesn't do them anything. Psychologically, everything is in the psychology. For example, if you drink water, when I say pure, clean water from a glass, and they told you it was clean water, and you drank it, in your mind, you drank water. If they tell you after 5 seconds what you just drank is poison, your reaction is different. Why is that? It might not be poison, but because they've told you that, psychologically, you're like, oh, am I going to die? Am I just going to happen? So I believe that anybody should know whatever they are involved with sexually before you go into that. Because I believe in a funny way is deceit. Because what you were born with in birth and you change, you have to acknowledge. Because if you see when you do a transition, you're referred to as MX. If you never do a transition and you're referred to Mrs., it's not possible. It's not MX with the X. So why did they not say you are MIS? They don't say that.
And I think I've also seen some forms where they would ask, what gender were you assigned at
Exactly.
birth? And
Why
I
are they
think
asking
I
that?
don't know
I
if
think
I
that's
don't think that's a very
discriminatory.
good.
It is correct. It's correct.
It
You know
is
why?
discriminatory. Why are you
No, it's
asking?
not discriminatory. Why did they ask if you're black and you're from Africa? Because this is what we use behind the scene to make sure that these people are protected characters. I've been in serious cases, HR-related cases, and this has come up. And in the meeting, I told them, stop. You cannot address this person as this. Let the meeting stop. We reconvey, and you address the person as this. Okay? But they have to know what you're getting involved with. I believe so. I might not be correct, but I believe if you're trans, you should be proud and say, I am trans. There's nothing to hide. So why did they call you trans? Why didn't they just call you woman?
But we know the reason why most of them, if not all, may not be very forthcoming with that information because it's exactly what most of us on this panel
Then
have said
you have to
today.
live with
Because
it.
once they
Celia,
You have
tell
to
you
live with
that
it.
they're trans, that's it, you're going to run for the hills. They want someone
You have
to
to live
love
with
them
it.
too. So
No,
if
let them love you in reality. There's
Yeah,
still going
but
to be somebody that will love you. There's a man
exactly.
for every woman. There's a woman for every man. There's a man for every man. So there's somebody's going to love you genuinely. Because the truth of the matter, we have lived with our own black skin for a long time. We've been discriminated forever, but we've lived with it. You can't stop yourself and say, I'm not black anymore. You are what you are. You should be proud.
Bleaching.
Or if you're bleaching, you're just light skin. You're still not white.
don't know why, yeah.
You're not Caucasian.
my own
Because
is
you
like
bleach
that.
doesn't make you a Caucasian. It doesn't stop at that. So I believe if you define, I was growing up, I was told that short boys don't get girls. I'm not very tall, but I had many of girls that were attracted to me. So because of that, did I go and do an operation to make me tall? There's an operation that makes people limp. Operation makes you 6 foot. So why have I not done that? So it's a choice, and anybody that's taken a choice should live by his choice and should define the choice. Whoever is you're being involved with,
Okay.
because for example, if you don't tell me and we cannot have children, eventually I know that you've done this. I'll feel that you've deceived me.
Okay.
And I will not carry on with that
Pump your brakes.
relationship.
We'll come back to that choice because I think I want us to explore choice a bit. But let me go to Funshaw, Kiam, and Ade, and Dajma and Celia as well. We're Nigerians, and I keep hammering on this. As Africans, Nigerian men seems to kind of force about homosexuality. I think it kind of pinches you somehow. And but someone is funding Bobrisky. Someone is actually here. So is it that you, I don't want to say human, are African men kind of closeted homosexuals, with the lack of better word, but because of our culture, you kind of hide it. Because
fortunately, because of the internet era we are, a lot of things are being exposed. This trend has always been there, but we never saw them. But because of internet and all this, we have access with the touch of your phone to information. A lot of men are are gay, but they marry women to cover up because of the shame of the society. It's a society because by law in Nigeria, you is 14 years imprisonment. So if that law is not in place and say that it's okay, we can be liberal, you would see a lot of people come out more. People are hiding because it's a crime in Africa. Like in Kenya, it's a straight crime. So it happens like that in Nigeria. But these days, there's nobody policing or managing what's happening in Nigeria. That's why people can come out. And I'll tell you what, some people can't do it in some states in Nigeria. They will kill you straight up.
Okay.
So there's some states that are more liberal than some states. Somebody tried to come out in Kogi or something, they shut it down immediately. They did not waste time. But in Lagos, everybody, because people are funding these things and people are using this medium.
Hold on, Dajima. Let me come back to you. Funshaw and Kiam, both of you grew up in the north. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And this is me just being cautious. A lot of northerners practice this. Why is it that this is kind of an issue with African men when it comes to homosexuality? It's a problem, especially with Nigerian men.
Okay, Kiam, go first.
Yeah.
Some people are coughing.
Yes, so
I think I will still go back to my first statement. Like it's just all about choice. What you feel like. I said maybe 15 years back, I will not have anything to do with the gay man. So let me just say it. And when I was in Karanamoda, Federal Polytechnic Karanamoda, in front of my hostel, there was this gay guy. Actually, they say he left, but he works like a woman. He was cooking downstairs, and people were eating his food. They said, "Oh man, this guy is the best cook." But guess what? I never looked at him twice. Because for me, I just say this guy is dirty. This is that's actually how I classified it. I say this guy is dirty. There's nothing. Even if I'm going to die of hunger, don't
you rather die
from this guy. You understand? That was why I was telling you that. Okay, I'm glad I left home and I was able to see a lot of things. So in the northern part, like you said, this is true. Yeah. There are a lot of gays in the north. I worked in a hotel and I can tell you that I've seen a lot. So I've seen men come with them, and they disguise like women. But, you keep doing that. And then one day you just, out of nowhere, it just like we say it. So I think the thing is that some men, we actually know about a very prominent man in my state, in Kaduna State, that is practicing that. Everybody knows. Like he is practicing that. He has wife, he has children and stuff like that. So, the thing is, you can't tell. Really, I just cannot tell. But I will speak for myself. You understand? Coming back here makes me understand that, okay, I have to respect someone's choice. You understand? Not necessarily being involved in your choice.
Yeah.
I respect you. I respect your choice. I respect what you do. But don't push me to involve, because look, anytime there's a change in something, even in government, it takes time for people to adjust.
Align, yeah.
It takes time for people to absorb in what this government is going to do and things like that. You understand me? So if something new comes out, people are not, they'll say, from our forefathers, we never, but you know what? Gayism has been there since the days of
Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah.
Since the days of Abraham.
Yes.
So, but it's just that people don't support it. People look at it as something like, okay, it is not accepted by the society, but now people have started getting enlightenment and stuff like that, and education. They said, no, these are human beings.
Yes.
These are our brothers. These are our sisters. You understand? Why not we give them the chance to live? Why not we give them the chance to make their choice? Whatever they want to do, let them do it. You understand? But not necessarily, if you disagree with what they are doing, just on your own, but don't actually make it like, oh, okay, I'm going to punish you, or I'm going to, no. Whatever you do to suppress that, it will still come out. Because I'm telling you, the truth is that they practice that in Nigeria, like on a daily basis. You see what? Okay, if you go to hotels, people who like maybe or joint or some hidden gardens, that's where all these things you will see them. You don't see them in the open. There are people who have girlfriends, you understand, but they still do that. So I don't understand.
My only question there is that why the Nigerian men, they don't like gay, but they like lesbians?
Okay, I'll come back to that. Funshaw, you grew up in the north as well. Ade, you're laughing, I'll come to you. Given what everyone has said, you said you don't have an issue with being sexually involved with a trans woman. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Good. Now, why is it that why is everyone not as open as you?
Well,
Funshaw is street now.
I don't think Funshaw's openness only gets to a level. He's not. I don't think Funshaw is all the way open. You're open because you're curious, but that's where it ends. Yeah. Once your curiosity is satisfied.
No, let Funshaw speak for himself now.
Okay, speak for yourself.
So yeah, I am open to different experiences, trying to unravel life itself. Like I told you, I started chasing girls at the very late stage. When I discovered how sweet it was, I couldn't stop.
So if you discover the other one, you might not come back.
And that's why I'm saying I'm curious. I want to see what it looks like. I might eventually not marry a trans person. Why? Not because the person is trans, but probably the person is jealous. Probably the person has a bad attitude. So me not marrying doesn't mean that because the person was trans. Now put that one aside. We're talking about North Nigeria and everything. See, I think gayism or homosexuality has to do with what we're exposed to growing up. It doesn't even have anything to do with the north of Nigeria. I think Nigeria in general, you see homes where you cannot mention the word sex in front of your parents.
Correct.
I could not girlfriend here. I had to fight my way to having my first girlfriend, even if it's just to have that tag of having my girlfriend. But if I bring male friend home, my parents will complain. What do they know we do inside?
Yes.
I went to a boarding school, and I know this is me going to a mixed boarding school, and we still had cases of guys trying to put something inside another guy in the midnight and all those things. Seniors and juniors and guys. Now imagine those that now went to only boys or only girls.
Wow.
Their first sexual experience
That's
is
true.
boy on boy. You think they will finish and they will enjoy girl? No, they won't. Some
You're
are
correct.
able to go out of it. Some are able to mix the two, while some can only enjoy another man. I once had a girlfriend, and the only way she could enjoy it was head. Penetration never works for her. And that is because she was keeping virginity, but she wanted to enjoy what everybody was enjoying. So she was getting head. That way she can preserve the virginity and at the same time enjoy satisfaction. Now, virginity is gone. Penetration, no. You say it's painful. I don't want it. I'm not enjoying it. You know, that kind of thing. So what do you do in those kind of situations? So there are a lot of cases like that, a lot of things in Nigeria like that, that is not allowing people to come out openly to say they are gay or this because of the society. Do I have a problem with homosexuals or whatever? No. But would I be with a gay person? I don't think so. It's
When you
different.
say
You mean a trans person?
No, a trans is different. A trans
Okay,
that
would you
transitioned from
actively
pussy and has
hold
the
on?
whole.
Wait, would you actively ask a trans woman out? She's not hiding who she is. She lives the way she wants to live. Would you actively ask a trans woman?
Why not?
Perfect.
I told you about Miss Sahara already. If I can get my hands on Miss Sahara.
Well, you can't because she's married. You're married.
Exactly.
Now.
But I'm telling you how pretty I think she is.
Yeah.
Miss Sahara is actually.
The first time I discovered Miss Sahara, I actually went into YouTube. I started looking for all her videos, all the beauty pageants she has done, all the transformation. I was following
No,
everything. I was like, wow.
I would text her that she has another fan, and then I will see if you guys. But no, let's move on. Celia, given where we are now, and actually, let me go to Ade before I come to you, Celia. From what you said, Ade, it's about choice, and everyone seems to echo that. If we think about this, there are people who say, I don't want to date someone that has kids. That doesn't make them parent phobic, does it? So why have we coined up this word, transphobic? If someone has said, by choice, I don't want to date a trans woman, do you not think that given what trans women have been through, don't they need that protection?
But they already protected characters. That's what they are.
Okay.
In equality, they are protected characters.
Danjuma, I don't think they're protected. Trans people aren't protected. No, they're not.
In some countries.
Yeah. In the workplace, they are protected.
In the work, no. Yeah, obviously in the workplace because someone will be held liable, right? But I'm just talking about, can a trans woman openly walk on the streets? In some places, she can't. They cannot.
In Nigeria.
They cannot. Even in the UK, though. Even in the UK, they can't.
Yes, because
things are thrown at them. They're called names.
That's correct. Yeah. That's correct because it is new to society. It would take a long time for it to be normal. Before now, they couldn't marry themselves. You couldn't marry a gay person or a man or a woman. But recently, and it's recent, that this has happened.
Okay,
So
Danjuma,
the
you're
journey.
saying they're protected. So why do you have a problem with them discussing about trans in school? Wouldn't it be nice for kids to know about this so that they would know about how protected they are, how to respect people in the society? What's your gross about
They
this?
should get them to a certain age before
What
they
age?
discuss that. Not when they're not mature.
But
I
what
have a
age?
duty of care for my child to raise them up the way I want to raise them because they belong to me. So when they have age, a certain age, if you want to discuss that with them, that is fine. But do not put that in the school curriculum as young age to confuse them, because at a certain age you can easily be confused because you're not mature enough to make your own choices. That's where my own comes in.
Ade, given what
Yeah.
we've been saying, what is your gross with people or the kids being told about the whole journey or about LGBTQ in schools? If they have their kids that have that are actually have this already from an early age. That's how they feel. They feel there's so many things that happen. Wouldn't it be nice for kids to know this so that they can be respectful of the people that are around them as well?
Yeah, you see, I don't see any problem in teaching the kid about sexuality. There's no problem. I would teach my kid when they get home, tell them about the right thing, how things. If they decide as they grow up, they want to explore. I believe that you as a parent, you guide your children to certain age, and they have to form their own choice. Like my father first, you always want to compete with his brother who has a medical child who's a doctor, and he want you to. So I was made to go and do A-level chemistry, biology, and maths. I don't enjoy biology. And what am I doing? I'm a town planner. But I've wasted my time going to Brunel to try and do biomedical, whatever I wasn't enjoying. You understand? So I've decided for me that my children should be allowed to form their choice. I'm more a Muslim, my ex-wife Christian. We had the children in Muslim way, like naming ceremony and stuff. 6 months later, we took them to church for confirmation. I don't have a problem with it. I believe they will form their choice. I just want people to allow people to give them the option, let them have the knowledge of everything, and they can decide, what they want to be.
But not at a certain age, because it can confuse them. Let them mature.
No, but in the school, they're not telling them you should dress as a girl. They tell them that when people decide to dress as a girl, that's something they want to do. Do you know? That's what they're teaching them. People are taking it the wrong way. Do you understand?
No, they're trying to put a curriculum into they should understand all these things. That's why I said at that stage, no.
Understand it. They like to let them understand it.
At a certain age, not when they're very young.
So at what age do you think is
I was gonna say, what would be the best age to have this conversation?
I believe from 16, because it's legal age. Why did they put a legal age in everything? There's a legal age for sex.
Children.
So when is that legal age? Depending on the country, the legal age of when they know they're not mature, you can now make them make a choice. But before then, they shouldn't.
Ade, you were saying something?
Yeah, but you see, what you've done is this, right? You've made the children grow up from little to believe this is the right way.
It's not a right way, but there's no way. But when it's time to discuss it, there's no way.
Do you know that if you're made to believe that you have to use knife and fork to eat a bat, not hand, right? From childhood, you will look at people that use hand as, do you know what I mean? Or people use hand.
It's not true. It's not true. It's a choice. That's what we're talking about.
So Ade, what would you say is the right age for children to be taught things like this in their schools?
Is whatever they feel to understand. One time I was my son was doing something wrong, right? And I was trying to smack him and shout. And the old man, an Indian man, said to me, he said, "No, you don't do that. I talk to the child, explain that why you shouldn't do this, why they should do that. Do you understand?" So I'm talking to my child as an adult to explain things to them, rather than shouting and smacking and saying don't do that.
So, but Ade, you know this is going to happen in schools, right? And if we're saying that, oh yeah, let the child reach the age of understanding, because it's in schools, some children might have better understanding than other children, depending on how they mix their environments at home and things like that. Yes. So your son might be 8 years old, for example, and might be able to understand things like that. But then you have another 8-year-old in his class that has no idea, that is mentally not ready to hear things like that. So what age do you think the school should introduce this into the curriculum that is not going to affect the child?
I don't know what age. I would say maybe when they're about 7, 8. Do you get it? I don't know what age really. But the good thing for we Africans and Black people is this, right? We have our own extended family that we drum things in our children's hair to say, this is what is norm. This is not normal, without us saying it. And our children will pick up from auntie, uncle, cousin, you know, and they will, if you interact with your children, they will tell you, Mom, you know, Mrs. They did this in school and say this, you know, and then it's for you to say, Akim, not be so. Do you understand? So that's the way I see it, because we're not going to be there in school. We have been made to send our children to school. They have to go to school.
Yeah.
Right? We can protest and whatever, and majority carry the vote in school curriculum. So whatever they decide is what they're going to teach them. You can take your child out and take them to African, whatever school you want to take them to if you have the money, you know. But if the government is providing something, they'll provide things they think majority requires. Just like in planning, right? We can have people objecting to something, and we have to look at the impact, what is needed in the community.
That's correct.
We have to allow this social housing here now, you know. So that's how it is. But I'm really supportive of it, and I'm not. I think children should be given opportunity to understand everything.
Okay. When you look at people like Bobrisky, for example, and he said it by himself that I'm sure we've all seen pictures of Bobrisky before he started doing this transformation thing that he's doing. When you look at his picture, he said himself that he was just Idris, right? And he wasn't getting anything. He wasn't making money. And he had to think about what he can do to set him apart. He had to think about what he can do to make him money. Okay?
Yeah.
So that was when he realized that if he started to cross-dress, it would make him money. So now he cross-dresses, he identifies as a she, and he wants to be known as a female. And now he's making money, right? We can all agree that through hook or crook, Bobrisky is making money. Now, that you spoke about, you spoke about a girl in Kaduna or so that tried to come out and it was shut down immediately. I think I saw that video where this person had dressed as a female, but I think she was male at birth. And people were around her and there was a camera on her face and they were asking her questions and everybody was shouting insults at her. And what I would say there is, sometimes when you look at scenarios like that, poverty also has a part to play, right? Because if that girl is doing exactly what Bobrisky did, right? Bobrisky was born male and he started to dress like a female, right? And because he knows how to sell himself and he's made money, now people are looking at him as wow, right? Now let's assume
a location. It doesn't have to do with poverty.
Okay, but
that
you know what? Hold on,
to Lagos.
Kyom just spoke about a senator or someone in the government in Kaduna that everybody knows that he is, let me say, bi or whatever, I don't know, but nobody's saying anything, right? Yes. But yet this woman, because she's not in an authority of power, because she has no money to her name, she's not famous, people will throw things at her on the street. Now this is the reality of a lot of transgender people, right? Let me leave gays and lesbian out of it because I think to an extent people are more accepting of that. But people are still not accepting of people that are trans. Now, let's just think about it, right? I don't think anybody would just wake up one morning and say, you know what, I'm tired. It feels boring to be a man. I want to be a woman now, right? Because number one, you can't just wake up and decide that because your mind would have been saying things to you. Your mind would have been saying, I'm in the wrong body. We've all heard Miss Sahara's account of how she went through her journey, right? Because imagine that you're born a male, but something in your head continues to tell you that you should be female. So even if you try to suppress that voice, it might never work. You understand? It might never work, which means you spend the rest of your life living a lie. Yeah. And then when you start getting to a certain age, there are things that the society demands from you, which is for you to get married and have children, depending on the kind of home you're from. So I think when we are looking at trans people and when we are judging them, I think we should be more understanding. We should look at them and show them the same love we would show anybody else, because they've gone through a very tough journey. So
Yeah, you're correct.
they fought that in their head, that I was born a man, but I want to be female. So they fought that urge, and they've come out to the world.
And they're fighting.
But it doesn't mean because they fought the war, I should now, because it's not my choice, I should make it my choice.
No, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not asking you to do that. And this message, because all of you on the panel are pretty are liberal based on what you've said. But I'm saying this because I have seen videos of trans people being killed. Yes. One of the videos I watched, this man's head was knocked to the glass window. She died.
Is a good word.
They were beaten,
lynched.
Yeah, they were maimed, beaten, and all sorts of things. Now, and this is not just by anyone. Okay, this is by same black people, right? So imagine a black trans woman who has who has now come out as a trans person, who was born a male, now come out as a female. She's told her family, she's told her friends. Her family has rejected her. Her friends have thrown her to the corner because they don't want to associate with her. Okay, and now she's come out to the world, and now people on the streets are also going to ridicule her, throw things at her, lynch her. Now, where do you want that person to go? Because that person will probably end up going killing themselves if they are not strong enough. So those people that are watching, if you are among those people that will see a trans person on the street and you will hurl insults at them or you will spit at them, you need to think, because that trans person can be your child. That trans person can be your brother, your sister. You will be surprised that your brother or your sister is dressing up in the closet as a woman or as a man. So we need to be understanding. We need to be respectful. If you meet a trans person and you liked them, and because they told you they're trans, you're no longer interested in them, do it in a respectful way. Okay? Do it in a respectful way. Don't come and now start saying, oh my God, you made me do this. And then before you know it, you become violent toward that person, because a lot of things like that are happening, because they will say, oh, you deceived me. Oh, that means I'm gay.
That's why from the onset I said it should be a definition. That's what they should let them know, so that there's no violence. Because sometimes if you let the person know, I've been approached by a man who's touched me on my chest and say I'm wearing a lovely jacket and his hand was going, I thought that was harassment. And I told him straight away, move, because I'm not accepting that. What are you rubbing my chest for? You should give her permission to do that.
That was a stranger, Ade. Okay.
Yes, it was a stranger. And that was in the UK. And it said, oh, nice jacket, and the hand is going down. What's that about?
At the end of the day, even whether he wasn't gay or not, normally that's just an invasion of privacy.
I'm surprised my brother didn't give him a slap.
No, you don't have to resort to that.
I'm a gentleman.
You don't have to give him a slap.
I'm a gentleman. I just stood there and said, no, just move. I just walked away. Because the truth of the matter, they should live their life the way it should be. But we should not mistake trans and gay. We should define it as it was, it is. Yeah. Everybody should live their life equally on the surface of the earth. Nobody's a moral joke, 100%. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're going to go into a relationship with somebody, I think you should let them know the background, the history behind this. That's why they do background check, even for a job. You want to give you a job, you do referencing. We have to know what we're taking. So we have to know what you're taking on. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I think we've kind of thoroughly unpacked this and able to do justice to this topic. In closing, I would say we must learn to respect each other,
100%.
regardless of our life histories, gender identity, or sexual orientation. The world is hard enough as it is. We've had COVID, we had so many things going on. The least we could do is to live our life. So until next week, when we come your way, be safe and stay blessed.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.